Something, 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 something. Hey, a doobie doobie doo, something, a something. You guys ever heard that one?
Yeah.
It's a classic.
What is your go-to karaoke song? Is it Tequila? Ba-da-ba-da-da-da-da.
I literally talked about this last week.
Oh, Amnesia.
Neon Moon, Brooks and Dunn.
Neon Moon.
Oh, the group
That is the
Garth
biggest
Brooks is
deja
in?
vu
Yeah,
ever.
that one.
Garth Brooks is one half of that group.
That one third. It's his brother.
Listen, I tweeted at Garth Brooks and Brooks and Dunn, and neither of them got back to us.
Yeah, they did.
It's rude.
So we can neither confirm nor deny.
Yeah.
But no, I had several people text me about that. They were deeply disappointed that I would even suggest the possibility.
And also duped.
Yeah.
I mean, my like other music confession is I didn't know that Darius Rucker was. I didn't know that
Hootie and the Blowfish?
I didn't know that Hootie was black until I was very much an adult.
What do you mean by that?
Dude, you're so sheltered.
Seriously.
I mean, there's nothing.
Sorry, I had to do that.
A-E-I-O-U-O.
I didn't know that Rascal Flats weren't the Little Rascals.
Me neither, dude.
Dude, I thought Alfalfa was leading the charge on that. My wish for you.
This is Chris Hansen.
This is TJ Hushmanzada.
Chad doing Rip City Radio here.
This is Jamie Hudson.
And I need to let y'all know something. You're listening to.
You're listening to.
And you're listening to.
It just makes
This just makes sense.
It just makes sense.
Woo! Way better than Chris Hansen.
Seriously. I want to get involved in the rigging of Fat Bear Week.
In relationship to Fallout Boy.
Oh, Fallout Boy. People are.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
we got it.
cut that.
Like, someone should hire you to be a protester. 4 bills dead weight. They're not getting you off that
They
court.
look at me and I'm like, I fucking dare you.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
dare you.
I mean,
There's no
like,
tractor. There's nothing that can.
They gotta be forklift certified.
Oh, I can't be a Cowboys fan because of this moral high ground that you are on. Bite me. Eat me.
Bite me. Eat me. I mean, gosh.
I'm so sorry to everyone that we just did that to.
Everything I just said before that, I just made that shit up.
Small enough and dumb enough.
Small enough, dumb enough. That's what we want.
That is It Just Makes Sense.
Yeah?
Could you imagine?
No.
I mean, no one's checked. Have you checked?
I haven't checked. There's no need to check, though, because you're probably right.
Because they, like, check, listen to the song God Bless the Broken Road, and then turn that into the part of the movie where they're building the go-kart. You tie the two together.
Dear Broken Road, I hate your stinking guts. You make me vomit. You're the scum between my toes.
Darla was a Schluter.
Love
so
Alfalfa.
whatever.
Spanky.
What was he doing in his free time?
Braxton, you gotta look like Spanky. If I had to pick one character from Little Rascals, you'd be Spanky.
I'll take it.
Do you know Alfalfa's actual real name?
Albert?
No, like the actor.
Albert
the actor.
Falfa.
Albert Falfa.
That's really what I thought you were.
Albert.
That's
Albert.
really what you were
Albert.
asking.
No.
Albert Falfa?
Albert Falfa. No, the actor's name is Bug Hall.
Bug Hall, yeah.
I've
did
been
know
there.
that.
I've been there.
Bug Hall.
I did know that.
Bug Hall.
But what's Bug short for?
I don't know. I mean, it's just a Bug Hall. I'm going to believe that
Bugaloo.
just like... Oh, okay. It's Brandon. All right.
Brandon Hall,
Brandon Hall.
a.k.a. Bug.
So you go by Bug, huh?
Bug.
Whatever. Did you try and do like a nickname as a kid? You know, it's like, did you ever try
BJ.
and go?
Yeah, BJ.
You went by. Do I even know you?
I don't.
Do I listen?
I don't know if you do. But yeah, no, my mom named me Braxton John because she thought BJ would be like a cute short name, but I think she quickly found out that that was not inappropriate for her little beautiful Mormon son. So
To
Do
be
Mormons
synonymous
do
with
Mormons
BJs.
refer to head as blowjob? It's probably more
they probably refer to it as fellatio.
fellatio. So
Mm.
blowjob isn't something that normally circulates around the brain when it comes to that topic.
I mean, that's how I always thought of it when I learned what a blowjob was. That's how I called it. But I do recall my mom one time saying fellatio and talking about blowjobs, obviously.
So if you think that fellatio would be their like top word for that action, they probably are so far away from blowjob, which means they're even further away from giving dome,
Yeah, head. I don't think she would know.
giving brain.
Yeah. Or like slob and knob.
Yeah, I mean that's
That's a
unheard.
deep
That's
cut.
unheard
That's
of
a deep
for them.
cut,
Yeah,
yeah.
so that's another planet.
Yeah, and I'm sure she, well, obviously had no idea going into it what BJ, means to most people. But I'm sure she had a friend or something that was like, hey, by the way, BJ means blowjob. So I don't know if you want your kid growing up as a blowjob.
Yeah, my drama teacher.
As a blowjob.
Yeah, my drama teacher referred to me as slow crotch in front of everyone.
Are we just playing the hits?
Hey, listen, we're at, like I said, after 100 episodes, you restart. We've got a lot of new listeners now.
It's
all
just
right?
you.
We're on the YouTube.
It's just you.
Oh, goodness. We should let everybody know that Pete's fucked up.
Yeah,
He
I
is
have
high
been.
as
I have
fuck.
been medicated.
Peter's
I have been medicated.
We are only 5 minutes
it's-
away from Peter bringing up
we're-
shit from episode 1 of
Just
season
gonna
1.
say, these are like season 1.
I hurt my tooth.
Well, Peter just hits us with, there's two things that Asians love, and that's gambling and drifting.
It's not gonna be me. Oh shoot! I've got the Christmas spirit. I'm loaded up on
Brought
the.
to you by Oragel.
Brought
Yeah.
to you by hydrocodone.
Oh, goodness.
Well, how was your Christmas, guys?
It was good, man. It was really, really
It was
good.
a packed 48 hours.
For
Very
sure.
busy.
I know. It's like
It's like when you know that I don't even know if it's a commercial, but when you just plop down in your bed at like 10:30 last night, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
it's so nice to just be. I mean, it's not like we didn't want to get through the holidays, but it's like it was so busy, it was nonstop.
yeah.
Yeah.
That when we finally got to bed, I was like, oh, this is so fucking nice to just not do anything.
Instantly asleep.
Well, I was going to say something similar, and I'm sure you guys maybe have experienced this, but with Jer and I's situation, we've got split parents and stuff like that. So there's multiple places we have to be in just a few days. And that moment of like, it's like this, we're in a house, we're at a party, it's conversation, socializing, all this kind of stuff, saying goodbye, gathering all the stuff, getting coups. And then the moment both of those car doors close and it's just us in the car, it's like,
Yeah.
all right,
Can breathe.
let's just take 60 seconds.
You guys remember COVID? What simpler times that was.
Yeah.
COVID Thanksgiving and COVID Christmas.
That's kind of what we were doing when we got to bed last night. Is just kind of rewinding back. It was like, okay,
simpler times.
how many holidays have we spent together? And it was like, okay, what did we do? So we figured out we've spent 4 holidays together, 2019, 2020, 2021, and then this year. And it was like, okay, what did we do for each one? And then we got to 2020, and we're like, oh, yeah, that's right. We skipped that one. We didn't see anyone.
Didn't see anybody, yeah.
And it was just weird to think. But we had a lot of good food, like everywhere we went.
Yeah. Yeah, we went to Bill and Janny's, another famous BJ, for Christmas dinner. You okay?
The first time I smoked.
Sorry.
Peter. Anyways,
Got him.
We went to Bill and
This
Janny's.
is what the hydro's going to bring tonight, right?
Where are you going?
Oh, goodness.
We're recording. Oh, you want to open the door. Yeah, my bad.
There's
All
a
right,
close-up
here he
of
goes.
Miguel.
There you go. Now watch him come back. Oh, boy. I honestly thought you were trying to like meander your way out of it. As we were,
got a new position in
Yeah.
the chair.
as we
Oh goodness! But no, Janny threw down like a 22-pound prime rib. It was
22.
I don't think I've ever seen a
Is she trying to
22
fight?
pound.
huge.
Did it fit into the
No.
oven?
Huge.
She had to cut it in half
Yeah.
and split it into 2 pans. Thankfully, she has a massive oven, so it did fit in the oven. It didn't fit into one pan.
Got you.
Huge.
Yeah, because the one that we had for our Christmas party was 13 pounds, and that thing extended the entire thing.
Yeah, and we had half as many people at the Christmas dinner as we did at the friends' party for Christmas. So
Gotcha.
way more meat for way less people. But she had one of those like really long, rounded end, like
The
brisket,
butcher machete knife.
like the
Beautiful.
big ones. And I was like, "Can I please cut the prime rib with that?" And she obliged, and it was quite a wonderful experience.
Yeah,
Yeah.
got you a little.
Got
Got your little had.
Little had, but no, it was delicious. They had extra spicy horseradish cream sauce. I should have brought it back and given it to you as a punishment, Pete.
Yeah, probably. We
But it
do
was
have
delicious.
horseradish in this hat. No, we don't. Grace
No.
took that away.
They took it.
Yeah.
We're just
Probably
going to go
for
on
the
a string
better.
of spicy shit like the
Probably
next
for the
8
better.
weeks.
Probably for the better.
But yeah,
Butthole.
great Christmas. Jared
Well-
got me this wonderful new hat.
Yes,
the
the
new-
Winter Hawks.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, the less controversial logo. Yeah.
Mhm.
Brought to you by the Portland gear.
Yep. Got the Mount Hood on there. And we have 4 free tickets to Winterhawks game. And it's best seats available.
Really?
The tickets are.
So, like, you have to know ahead of time, or you can just kind of look and.
Yeah, so no, like if there's a game tonight, we could literally just go and show up at the ticket booth or whatever, and the best seats available, we get those tickets.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Are you prepared for a fight? Because that's what happens
Is-
there.
Always.
Would you rather? Do you like seeing games because the Winterhawks play at the Memorial Coliseum and Moda?
Memorial.
Memorial.
You like it nice,
Yeah.
down and dirty.
Yeah, gritty.
You want to like those locker rooms in the Memorial Coliseum smell so bad
I bet.
because it's
Years
just,
of sweat.
yeah, years, and now you have amateur teenager hockey player.
Yeah.
It's just it
Smells like
stings
I'll never-
sweat
the
and Axe
nostrils.
body spray.
I'll never
Stings the
forget that
nostrils.
our Winterhawks game we went to together. That was like right when I started hanging out with you guys.
That was Jesse's birthday.
Yeah, that was like 2000.
I was not there.
2016,
I did not have the
2017
pleasure
maybe.
of trying to fight that guy.
2016. It might-
16.
Might have been earlier actually. No, 16. 2016.
You guys want to take it like an octopus? Throw an octopus on the ice?
That's a thing.
That is a thing. I don't know what it means, but it's a thing.
Like
Yeah,
a real octopus?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
it's dead, but
It's
yeah,
dead.
it's real.
It's real.
That's weird.
It is. Yeah, I don't know exactly.
The
how you
amount
do that.
of marine life that gets tossed onto hockey rinks and it's acceptable is a little concerning.
yeah,
What
like,
else besides an octopus?
Like the Nashville Predators, I'm pretty sure
throw actual.
fish. Like fans sneak whole fish into the stadium, and they keep the fish until they win, and then when they win, they throw the fish onto the ice.
Why would they have to sneak it in if it's a thing?
Well, I'm sure you could put together some of the concerns of having raw fish, multiple raw fish just hanging out in your ice rink. The smell being probably the top one.
Can you bring like a Weber grill and, make
No.
it in the stadium?
No, I don't think you can.
How was your Christmas, Peter?
Well, it was fine. I want to get to this octopus thing. Legend has it the 8 tentacles of the octopus represent the 8 playoff victories once needed to win the Stanley Cup, the championship trophy of the National Hockey League. And this is was made famous with the Detroit Red Wings. So there you go. I guess kind of speaking of ice, I got a new ice maker, which is very exciting. I
It
know it
is.
sounds very silly.
We're using it right. We're having it right now.
We
We
got
are.
it's the ones where it makes the sonic ice, and
Yeah.
I'm very, very excited about that. I bought a 3-foot long charcuterie board. I don't even know, like that's.
Are
gotta-
these all stuff Lindsay got you?
I got the charcuterie board.
But she got you the chiropractor gun.
Yeah.
She got you the hoop,
Yep.
and she got you the ice maker.
Yes, and you know what else she got me was a deep fryer.
She's good at getting gifts.
Yes,
man.
I am so stoked for this.
But she's
deep
good
fryer.
at getting gifts that
So
also look
you
out for your
have a
friends.
brand new deep fryer in this home right now today,
Yes.
and we aren't deep frying?
It would make for like
Answer the question.
it would make for a bit
Answer
of a
the fucking question.
At this point, I'm not good at arguing because of the narcotics that I am on. So
Well, it's pretty simple.
Excuses.
The answer's no. We're not deep
We're
frying.
not currently deep frying. But you know what I want to do in the next week, and you guys should come over, is I want to try and recreate the Pock wings. I want to try it. The recipe's on there.
You
so I
better
wanna
make
try
a
it.
lot of them.
Yeah, I'm gonna try.
Would
to
you
do the
make them
Pock
as
wings.
whole wings, or would
Yes.
you do them as
No, I do
drums
them
and flats?
Big
Okay.
ol'. I'm gonna be a purist about it.
I think what
so.
we need to do just to make sure the thing works is go to the nearest grocery store, grab a 12-pack of corn dogs,
and
and
make it happen.
Make it
You know what's
happen.
really cool about this is like hot fryer talk here is that once it's done, it filters the oil and then it has a reservoir, so I don't have to like dump the oil every time.
Dude, lit. Fuck out of here.
for real, dude.
Fuck out of here.
God. I know.
You kidding me? It's got
Yeah.
a filter on that bitch.
It's
I've
got
never
a
been so hard about grease.
filter. Peanut oil,
Grapeseed, talk about it.
grapeseed talk.
No
about it.
joke. I just bought my first bottle of grapeseed oil. It's magic.
Yes. I've got grape. Yes.
Is it made out of
Listen,
grapes?
We're a culinary podcast.
The seeds.
Oh.
Yeah.
What seeds?
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about
But
it.
no, I've been just blowing off all the things I see online. Oh, you're gonna sear your steaks at high heat? Don't use olive oil. Don't use
I hear
butter.
peanut. I hear peanut oil. a
Yeah, that's
lot.
one of them. You just want high heat oil.
Yeah, avocado oil or grapeseed oil.
Grapeseed oil.
Yeah.
So the last time I seared off a steak inside, because usually I'd been doing it on the grill, but with the weather, I wanted to do it inside. And the whole house filled with smoke. I was like, okay, I'm finally going to get some fucking grapeseed oil.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
man's-
Dude, give Lindsay a shout out. Those are great gifts.
Incredible gifts.
Yeah.
Because the gifts also benefit your friends.
Yes. Also true.
Corn
but
dogs.
The fucking basketball hoop? I
that's
wanna
also
play
true.
with that
We gotta
roof.
figure out where to put it. The piece de resistance of gifts, though, very exciting. Which maybe you guys could even get in on this. One night while you were here, she got me a mobile car detailer to come to the house and
Okay.
and do the.
How do you beat Lindsay went?
How many cars?
I mean, for me, it was just
Did
like
Lindsay
the
get a
large
new
SUV.
job that we don't
Yeah,
know about?
Exactly. I was.
She
very
did
well
get that
spoiled.
promotion.
I was spoiled this year, so.
Oh. But
I
yeah.
don't know. It's
We got Brody a big wheels, a USPS mail truck big wheel with a mailbox to go along with it as well.
You got your son a job.
I got my son a job, yeah, and I apologize.
He
He,
needs- he
is
needs to
currently
start
taking
working.
a nap, and that's why your packages did not arrive. So,
shout out to the
Sorry.
partners that are better at getting gifts. I sucked this year.
you were not good at getting the gift?
We were very much focused on friends and family.
Yeah.
We went all out for friends and family and kids and pets and
You guys bought a house together.
yeah,
this
and
year,
we're like
you know?
we're going on a trip. We don't need to spend that much money on each other. And then I fucked up on the one gift because it's the shipping and it kept getting canceled. So I ended up getting Ashley a very thoughtless gift card because that was one of the few gifts I was gonna get. That was the one that was there. So she got a gift card. But what she got me, she said she didn't spend that much, but they're very cool. It's a hot dog hat. So it's like a nice hat, like
It's
a
corduroy, you said.
corduroy, and it's got instead of a snap, it's like the belt that you can adjust.
Sure.
And it says hot diggity dog with like a photo of a hot dog. But on top of that, she got me a Duke neon light. to put up on the wall.
Oh, nice.
She's all over Etsy, and I never go on Etsy, so I don't see stuff like
Etsy's
this.
cool.
So those are two pretty cool.
Etsy's, honestly, I should start shopping from Etsy more because Etsy does a good job of making a basic gift seem or become more personal.
Etsy is where we got the coasters.
Yeah,
Nice.
exactly. But I will. What was I gonna say?
I mean, we were talking about gifts, and we were talking about
Partners being better at gifts.
yeah.
Oh
just
yes.
our significant others being better.
I've
humans than us.
realized that my anxiety, the only time that it benefits me is during gift giving times, because my fear of not getting Jara enough or as much as she's gotten me.
Oh, sure.
I just will keep getting things, and then I'll kind of forget what I've gotten.
Sure.
And then by the time Christmas comes around, it's like she has this pile of things, and I'm always very, very happy with what I get. She's an incredible gift giver, but she always sticks to what we agreed upon.
In terms of money allotments.
Yeah,
because
we bought each other the tickets to go on the cruise in April.
Sure.
Which we're very much looking forward to. But we were like, hey, let's just do stocking stuffers and maybe one or two small things. And I was just so concerned about what she was gonna get me. That's okay, well, anything that I see, I'm just gonna get. But she's happy because she gets more than she thought, and I'm happy because I don't have that because there's nothing worse than being in a relationship and it's very one person does a lot and you're the one who's oh no, I didn't match or I didn't
exactly
equal.
You have to.
That's always a tough pill to
because
swallow.
then do you have to on the other side try and make it up during the day or in the days of just building on it unintentionally or trying to do that. But then this year for mine, I kind of ran into that because for Lindsay's birthday, her birthday is early December, she had a lot of frustration. I was I'm going to take care of all of her, the things that are frustration or pain points for her birthday, which is early December, and then Christmas. So I got her a new iPhone, which is very expensive. It's just ungodly amounts of money to buy a new iPhone these days, but you do it once every 4 years or whatever. So this for Christmas, then I was I will backfill it with iPhone accessories, things of that nature. Mm-hmm. There's nothing very romantic about buying new towels, but we got new towels for Christmas. It's just when you're a kid, you don't understand the new underwears and the socks. Yeah, an incredible gift.
I got so many
exciting
socks.
as an adult.
Yes. So as a we got towels, so it's not sexy, but it was a frustration point.
It is sexy a little bit, actually. Think about what's under
white.
that towel.
They're sheet towels, so they're gigantic.
Exactly.
So
take off your clothes, just wrap it around you.
Well,
what's going on with this guy wearing the Pyeongchang Olympics beanie?
Yeah, so we do have things are a little different. We got a big old monitor now for everyone to see. We were talking about how bad the weather was. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get together. I know that we never hang out, and we were going to be able to get a drink on the 23rd, but that's when all the bad weather came in, and so we all had to stay home. And did you make it home? You were at the bar and you were waiting.
It was not
for
that
us.
Bad that night.
Yeah, it was the next morning.
Yeah,
Friday.
It was probably smart that you went home. But Miguel and Mitch definitely could have made it.
Yeah, we would.
Yeah, why didn't you make it?
It's not a big deal. I get the concern, people are being safe. It's not a big deal. But yeah, I made it. I was totally fine.
Yeah, I figured that the Tahoe would make it, but I was just worried about other people.
People down the street would have been fine, but you coming from here,
that was probably
been
smart.
Would have been no good way home. But what is kind of funny about what we're about to watch is, with the bad weather sweeping the entire nation, they do all this storm coverage and everything. There was the they were in Iowa, and this guy, the sports guy in Iowa, was tasked with doing some of the storm coverage, and that's what pays the bills. Arctic blast. What was this one called? It was a Arctic bomb or an Arctic explosion or something stupid.
There's no sports for him to cover.
So there's no sports for him to cover. So they send this guy out to go and cover the snow. And it went about as predictably as a sports guy covering weather.
Mark, how you feeling out there?
Again, the same way I felt about 8 minutes ago when you asked me that same question, right? I normally do sports. Everything is canceled here for the next couple of days. So what better time to ask the sports guy to come in about 5 hours earlier than he would normally wake up, go stand out in the wind and the snow and the cold and tell other people not to do the same. I didn't even realize that there was a 3:30 also in the morning until today. It's absolutely fantastic, Ryan. You know, I'm used to these evening shows that are only 30 minutes long, and generally on those shows I'm inside. So this is a really long show. Tune in for the next couple hours to watch me progressively get crankier and crankier. How do I get that Storm Chaser 7 duty? I feel like Clint got the better end of that deal. You know, that thing's heated. The outdoors currently is not heated. Well, I'll tell you what, Ryan, I've got good news and I've got bad news. The good news is that I can still feel my face right now. The bad news is I kind of wish I couldn't. Can I go back to my regular job? I'm pretty sure, Ryan, that you guys added an extra hour to this show just because somebody likes torturing me, because compared to 2.5 hours ago, it is just getting colder and colder. Live in Waterloo for the last time this morning, thankfully, I'm Mark Woodley, News 7 KWWL.
There you go.
Tell me that guy got fired. He was asking to get fired.
No, I mean, like, he got, let's see, how many? This has
30 million.
Oh, boy. This has 31 million views. Of course, this is not.
Mark Woodley has a job for life.
He sure does.
That's so funny.
And he was already making merch. All of a sudden, like, a merch started popping up, like, the weather outdoors is currently not heaters. And they were just taking some of the quotes that he was having from there and turning it into merch. So apparently you can go buy that now at this point. But, okay.
That's pretty funny.
You know what? Fuck that guy.
You don't like that guy?
Fuck that guy.
Well,
He's kind of a
He
bitch.
kind of reminded me of Brian Owen's brother.
Did he? I was going to say...
Who, Aaron?
A little bit.
It's got to be Aaron, not Adam.
I was going to say, I don't know if anyone tried to do this at your Christmas gatherings, but I would say fuck this trend that has been going around. I think it's very stupid. I'll get your guys' thoughts on the other side.
Mick Jagger dead at the age of 79.
What the fuck are you fucking talking about?
Donald Trump dead at age 74.
What? Wait, no! No!
Anderson Cooper. What? He's dead at age 55.
What?
Heart attack.
No fucking way!
That guy looks like Anderson Cooper.
Chris Martin dead at 45.
No! Oh no!
The guy from Coldplay?
Michael Jackson dead at 50.
What? Michael Jackson.
Oh my God, Shania Twain dead at 57.
No way!
Yeah.
Somebody always dies on Christmas.
Really?
Oh my God, Barry Manilow pronounced dead at 79.
Barry Manilow?
Charlie D'Amelio died.
What was that noise?
Why are you laughing? Madonna dead at 64. Madonna died at 64.
What are you talking about?
Dr. Phil dead at 72.
What? Liar!
Taylor Swift, 33, dead, found dead.
Stop it. That's not funny. That's not funny. See it. Why would you say that?
Lauryn Hill dead at 47.
What? You're kidding me. No fucking way!
Austin Butler dies at 31.
Shut up!
Oh my God. What? Zac Efron dead at 35.
Nene Leakes murdered at 56.
What? Murder?
I'm kidding.
Bruce Springsteen dead at 73.
What?
Heart attack.
Bruce
She crosses herself.
Dead at 76.
Judge Judy found dead at 81.
She just said Donald Trump dead at 76, and she just goes, good.
Kris Jenner dead at 67.
Wow.
Tom Cruise died at 60.
The one with Howard Stern is the best.
There's a Howard Stern.
There's a guy. It just the view. I don't. Yeah, Howard Stern trend. If I don't know, dying trend.
Tell me if you see it. Is it this one?
This is a compilation. This one. This one right here. Just the view of it. And this guy's just enjoying a sweet piece of pizza.
Oh my God. Howard Stern dead at 68.
What?
What?
I do think that my favorite one was probably the Barry Manilow one, which was...
Oh my God, Barry Manilow pronounced dead at 79.
Barry Manilow.
They all turn into a choir. Yes, it was funny, but that's not cool.
It's not
why
funny.
would you?
You can't... Okay, so we should fake death ourselves? Is that what we should...
No, but also, I have been doing this for years, which isn't cool.
You've been doing this very thing to people for
Ask
years?
anyone that's known me.
Oh, my God.
How many times? Ask my friend Morgan when I walked into class sophomore year in high school, and I go, Allen Iverson's dead.
Oh, my gosh.
And I've been doing this, which isn't funny.
No.
So you're saying you were early on the trend? This is old news.
Listen, TikTok has been
TikTok
following my algorithm growing up.
They're behind
They
you.
were following your algorithm before it was even a thing.
Before you algorithm.
Look at me not making any money off of my fucking lies.
You really
What do you
should.
think Algorithm's real name is?
Albert.
Oh, bug.
Alfalfa rhythm.
Alfalfa rhythm. Yeah.
I've probably done that to you guys at some point in the years that I've known you. I've told you that someone has died.
I wouldn't put that past you.
Guaranteed I've done that at some point. But yeah, that's not cool.
I
mean, for certain people.
Like, that's not fucking cool. I do it all the time, but it's not
cool
fucking
when it
cool,
does to me. I do like Ian Carmel, who's the head writer of James Corden. He's a local comedian or a comedian from the Portland area. Whenever like someone old dies, he reacts to it like Betty White gunned down in her prime. It's like,
terrible.
Yeah, gunned down in her prime is really the way to react to death news of old people. So, well, maybe John Bon Jovi will eventually die, but the amount of times that he has been fake killed on Twitter is very serious. Like,
But it's
alarming.
shit like this that make you question actual death. Like when it was announced that Kobe died that one morning. Everyone,
Oh my
you know,
God.
like
Yeah.
you sent that from TMZ. I'm like, it's TMZ. That's not fucking real.
that-
Like,
Right.
That kind of was a thing for a little while. I remember that one of the podcasts at Barstool, they were doing like a 24-hour live stream or something, and they decided like at 3 o'clock in the morning, it was presented by Coors Light, so they're all drunk. And at 3 o'clock in the morning, they were just like, hey, who should we like start tweeting out like RIP?
Oh, God.
Because they had enough followers, and they just decided Tim Allen. And Tim Allen the next day had to make a statement on his Twitter
I'm
because
not
they
dead.
they got it trending. It was this big thing. And he's like, no, guys, I'm still alive.
Yet.
Are you trying to kill me?
Well, I thought that maybe
God.
Tom Izzo was going to have himself a bit of
This
a heart
is
attack.
so funny.
It is Michigan State versus Oakland, and this is in the first half.
Probably the funniest thing that happened this weekend.
Of a meaningless game is that to ring in the holiday cheer, Tom Izzo is wearing a sweater. He looks like a Christmas elf. For our YouTube watchers here, and he proceeds to blow his gasket wearing a just super green, tight. It's quite tight. You could have opted for more than a little bit of
Also,
a schmedium there,
As an
Tommy.
optics guy, Pete, that's bad optics.
Yeah.
Before you play it, this would have been less funny had he not been mad. If he was like, come on, like you're going to tee me up for wearing an elf sweater.
He's pissed.
But
He is hopping.
I
He's
have
peed
never
off.
seen him this mad in the entire time I've been following college
Well,
basketball.
he looks this mad because he's wearing a fucking Christmas
Yeah.
sweater.
You think that
He
this
was
his
fucking
idea?
furious.
This was not his idea.
Hey,
He's being consoled.
the holdback guy.
He's so angry.
Oh gosh, you hate to see it.
He's an angry elf.
He's an
He's
angry
an
elf.
angry elf. He's an angry.
You had me
elf.
by like a
Call me an
split
elf.
second.
You feeling strong, my friend?
You're an elf.
This is so funny.
You're an angry elf.
This guy's usually pretty calm. I've never seen him that mad.
Oh, shoot. A lot of people angry. Where do we want to start? We have a long list of things. I guess like people were really angry online at Kirk Herbstreit calling the Jaguars the Jaguars, which,
Yeah.
you know.
Who would fucking do that?
Who would ever
Fucking
say
idiots.
Jaguars?
Stupid ass.
Stupid ass.
I'll tell you what. I just want to read one of these topics out loud.
Sure.
In the way that I think Peter thought it in his head.
Okay.
Zach Wilson benched. Is it even worth dunking on him?
It's true. It is. Is it even worth dunking on him at that point? Because.
And I bet you were so proud of yourself for the little sports crossover.
Yes. I mean, yes, it's always nice whenever you can.
Look at it. Look at it.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Is it?
The answer is no.
Is it?
The answer is no.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
So.
However, I will be at the Jets-Seahawks game.
Mike White activated.
And this is like going to be a pretty fucking important game for both
teams.
of these teams.
Yes.
So I'm pretty pumped to be there. We'll be in row AA, so pretty close.
Ooh.
Place your bets before you go to Washington.
No,
You have to.
I refuse.
Okay, then you just won't.
You
bet.
want the same situation where I call you, I'm like, hey, can you place a bet for me? And then call you immediately, like, I'm here to collect my winnings.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do to you.
Okay.
No, I'll play some bets before I go, but I am very excited to see that game. It should be good, hopefully. I think they're pretty evenly matched teams.
How many Lumen dogs are you going to get?
Probably not a lot. Last time I went to the Seattle game, I was very, very unimpressed with their food. And I've had 2 friends go to games since then and say the exact same thing. Like, they have all these really, really good food trucks right outside the stadium.
Just
go and hit those, and then, like, get a just normal hot dog with your beer or whatever.
You know what makes Lumen concessions shitty?
Garlic fries?
They're
that
not
everybody.
They're
thinks
not
are
allowed.
good.
They're not allowed to use Mariner dogs.
Oh,
it's
sure.
it's an exclusive Seattle Mariner T-Mobile Arena dogs. So they get some garbage hot dogs in there.
Garbage dogs.
Question me again. You feeling strong, my friend?
Jesus Christ. I agree.
I concur.
Get Albert
You're
here.
right.
Get Albert here.
I concur.
I did add the Twitch streamer because I thought it went back to how much we've been making fun of Kyler Murray and how he gets hurt so he can play video games.
Yeah.
And this is the opposite. The guy's playing video games and tears his ACL.
Is it this guy?
The Twitch streamer who hurt his
That's
fucking
Tyreek
knee.
Hill.
No, that's Tyreek
Yeah,
Hill.
the Twitch streamer that went viral because he was playing Call of Duty and he fucking injures his knee while he was playing video games.
Was he like celebrating like a good shot, or did he fall out of his chair?
He was just
immobile.
He was standing up in the middle of the game, like playing, and just moved like, I don't know, fucking jerked his knee and got hurt.
Okay, well,
You're gonna have to be
a
more
link?
specific because Adriana Chetchik got fucked up at TwitchCon.
I don't know. You got to pull up the video.
Dislocates knee playing Call of Duty.
Oh, there we
you
go.
This guy.
This guy.
All right.
That's a 10-year-old kid.
Yeah. And he's in a dorm room or something.
Did you just see him just fall?
That looks like hopefully a dorm room, but.
All right, here we go. I love how you just made me like go on this like wild chase for this video. You couldn't drop in a link?
I did that too with the Tom Segura gift last week. I'm sorry about that.
That's all right. Here we go. He's running around.
Oh, get him, Steve. He's the last one. Kill him. Live ping. Kill him, Steve. Get him. He's blued. He's plating. No! Why didn't you push with me? It was a 2-on-1. leg. Ah. Oh my god.
Please reconnect your controller.
Oh, it's fucking broken. Oh shit. Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Oh. Oh shit.
What
Oh
the
fuck.
hell?
Oh.
And why does it look like he was kidnapped?
Yeah, why is he in a juvenile detention center?
Holy fuck.
Looks like a dorm room.
No one's checking on him.
Oh shit.
It's
Oh
just
my
a minute.
fucking god.
Oh.
Holy fuck. I'm in so much fucking pain. Oh.
Ouch. Ouch.
Stay woke. Is this real?
I don't know.
Thank you for your contributions to the podcast.
Well, that's the end of that conversation. We don't know, folks.
Could you usually not hear other
Meet
players
Danny.
if you're Twitch streaming yourself? Could you hear other players if they're talking?
Yeah, I mean, like usually, like when it's streaming, like those people come in on the deal. Okay, well, here's some context. Danny is in the Navy, so that like he is currently stationed in Okinawa, which is in Japan.
Okinawa.
And in his downtime was playing video games. Okay. And then he has this freak accident. I don't know. Sounds like Gardner Minshew trying to just like, slam his,
Yeah, break his hand with a
break
hammer.
his hand with a hammer.
Good
It's
old
like, I
Gardner.
don't want to be deployed. I'm just going to dislocate my knee whilst
Yeah.
playing a video game.
Yeah, that does seem like a great way to get an honorable
It's
discharge.
such a Gardner thing to do.
So Minshew.
So
Hella
Minshew.
minch.
Hella Minshew.
Element.
All right. Well, we don't have any update on Danny.
Oh, fuck
I
Danny.
guess we'll be
I think we can
tracking
move
this.
on from Danny.
Yeah,
All
Danny's done.
Moving on from Danny. But that's why I don't play video games. It's a contact sport.
Don't stand up.
Yeah.
Miguel, I want you to choose the next one. I
Yeah.
like
You
that we
think I
have
can
this.
see?
You like this?
Okay, sorry. Can we zoom?
Hold on. How far do I have to zoom
This
in
is like
for you to...
this is like an eye test.
It is. Oh, okay,
All
there we
right.
go.
Okay, so we've already done Izzo Elf sweater. All right.
Can
We
you read it?
Go up. What was the? Hold on. Massive payouts for contract
Coaches.
My God.
coaches.
This is like...
Are you for real?
Okay, massive contracts for coaches /
No.
execs to leave.
Massive payouts for coaches, execs to leave. Okay. We can talk about that because why don't we first talk about the fact that Nathaniel Hackett was fired
He did.
after less than one season with
He
the,
did.
Because it's his fault,
the
right?
Denver Broncos. Well, in part, I mean, like it's your job to kind of like keep track of what's going on with the locker room and
That's true.
and making sure that guys aren't fighting each other and guys are throwing punches. Like players are refusing to pick Russ up from the ground. Like even like Ripien is getting into it with the offensive line. There was like a scuffle. No, that wasn't. Oh, yeah, it was that game. There was like an on-field fight after the game while Baker was trying to do his post-game interview with Tracy Wolfson. So, yeah, like he had totally lost the room.
And honestly, I think low-key, I can't believe I just said that. I'm sorry.
Low-key.
Low-key.
You
I'm
dropped-
sorry.
Yeah.
And that was not ironic either. But I'm going to stick with it. Low-key, the most embarrassing part is, one, that he hired somebody to just be in charge of helping him with clock management.
Yeah.
Which is embarrassing if you're a head coach in the NFL that you need to hire an individual and give them probably a 6-figure salary just to help you manage the clock.
Right.
And then they fire your ass. And they're like, actually, this clock management guy, he's probably a better fit for
Yeah,
us.
we're going to go ahead and go with the clock management guy. Well, also, they didn't offer it to the clock management guy to start. They offered it to the defensive coordinator, and the defense coordinator's like, nah.
Yeah, that's even better.
Nah, I don't think
Not
so.
for me.
So
Not
they
for
just
me.
went with the guy that they brought in midseason just to look at the clock.
So I wonder how you would feel going back to your take last week that you hate that Jeff Saturday got chosen for the Colts job.
Correct.
How would you feel if the Denver Broncos then chose Peyton Manning to coach the rest of the season?
If they chose Payton,
a former player people like, to finish out the rest of the season with other deserving coaches in line.
yeah, I wouldn't like that either. I mean, like the fact that like Payton has a bit more like kind of player qualifications I could kind of get, but yeah, I wouldn't like that either. It would be really out of left field, to borrow another sports reference from another sport, because I'm very good at that. But
you're killing it.
Yeah.
Fucking pro
You're
cross
killing it.
referencer.
Yeah. But where I was going with this is that and what Miguel had picked out is that, so Nathaniel Hackett fired less than a year. I think that Hackett had like a 5-year deal, so he's going to get paid out probably like another $20 million just to like not coach. And I get it, because like you have a brand new ownership that did not hire Nathaniel Hackett. And I think that they just kind of want to press the reset button there. Well, since, let's see, over the last 5 years, there was a study that was done that over $800 million have been paid out to coaches and executives to not do their job.
It's a great gig.
Great
It's
gig.
an incredible gig. And we're just a matter of a couple of weeks here before we actually will see, Black Monday will show up, and we're going to see possibly even Kevin Stefanski getting shown the door.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think
That
so.
was going to be my next question, because, there are some people, now that the Browns have been eliminated from playoff contention, are saying, like, okay, is Kevin Stefanski next? Is he going to be one of these casualties? Usually you get
No.
between like 4 and 8 coaches a year, right? 8's kind of on the higher side, but we've seen it before, that get fired. And obviously now you didn't have Watson for the first 10, 11 weeks.
No, I think this year for the Browns is definitely I don't see them trying to make any major huge changes at all. Like, I think
try it again with this same thing.
I think
year.
that this is just kind of a refresh year. We went through all the hubbub with Deshaun. We have him. Everybody's kind of hands. Well, I shouldn't say hands clean, but it's over. His time has been served. We can now move forward. I think that this season we're just going to kind of chalk it up. It is what it is. I would be so incredibly surprised if they fired Kevin Stefanski. I think that would be definitely in the wrong direction of what they're trying to do.
And I think I will go back on what I said, because I think NFL coaches make a huge difference on how the team performs. Yes,
Yeah.
so I agree with the Hackett firing, but the expectation coming into the season is completely different for Hackett than it was for Stefanski.
Right.
With Hackett,
yeah.
with Wilson coming there, the expectations, he didn't live up to it, versus the Browns. You were starting a backup quarterback to start the season. You still didn't know what was going to happen when Deshaun took over. I don't think his job is at risk at
It's
all.
like a gap year.
But
it's like if we can get into the playoffs, great. But no
to-
overreaction if not.
I'm curious to your point of these coaches and execs getting so much money just to get fired. That's all contract shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if you're taking it in the real estate kind of way of looking at it. That's like, breaking a lease and you're fucked. So you got to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I wonder if all of this stuff happening and all of the money that's getting paid out, if they would switch to like month to month. You know what I mean? Like, so you don't owe. It's like, you know what? There's no more 2-3 year contracts. We're going to go month to month and just see what happens.
Essentially, the month to month in NFL is the 1 year deal.
Yeah. So like shorten everything.
Yeah.
I feel like it
that's
would
what
make
it
more
is.
sense. But coaches, yes, fucking important, because look at one team. Look at the change from last season to this season for the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's all credit to Doug Peterson.
Yeah, sure.
Because Urban ruined that fucking team. I've always been a believer in Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence with the right people around him, and because it's NFL, you waste so much talent because they're not in the right situation, right position, right whatever. Trevor Lawrence, you put the right pieces around him and the right coaching, look at what they're doing. So Doug Peterson has changed that franchise completely just in one season.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's fucking important. And now, whose name is getting brought up for the Denver job?
Is it Quinn?
Sean Payton.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Sean Payton. I mean,
that'd be
I don't care for Russell Wilson, but I feel like anyone other than Hackett might
improve them a little bit.
Well, it is interesting that there was a report out over the weekend that Sean Payton is dying to get back into coaching, and not only that, but he already has essentially an agreement with all of the people that he plans to hire. So it's kind of like while he is, in that sweepstakes,
there's been talks behind the scenes.
Yeah. So, the Broncos will be able to put on a good full court press. I mean, there is kind of something kind of appealing there when you think about the Walton family, which has $65 billion. I mean, they're willing to go out and spend money. But when you think about being the next head coach, are you really going to – do you see the Russell Wilson running the team until 2029 and say, oh, yeah, I can work with that? Or is your pitch as you're interviewing saying, actually, I would move away from Russ? Because, I mean, obviously, that's going to be such a key question there. What will you do with Russell Wilson?
If you're in charge of the Broncos, what's your move?
I would get a young quarterback out of the draft.
Play
it as we're sticking with Russ, but we want to have somebody here, that he can learn under his wing, blah, blah, blah.
I think Russ has lost that locker room. I don't think players respect him.
Yeah.
I don't think players want to play with him.
Exactly.
And what are they, 4-11 with a massive loss coming from this weekend?
Yeah.
Correct.
Then you can be in the running for a Bryce Young.
Yeah.
Or
in which they were the favorites, by the way. The Broncos were by 2.5 points.
So I think I move on from Russ because I don't think he's winning back that locker room and that team.
So how do you get rid of him though? Everyone knows.
It's the question of the money. I think because of the money invested, you have to give him
another season at least.
Another chance, because I think you can look at the season being so bad. Obviously, they're going to place guilt on Hackett. Okay, so we get him out of here. We give everybody the off season, give people times with their family. People forget things. We all come back, new coach. We bring back Russ. I think, getting a younger quarterback is not going to all of a sudden make people think that, you're done with Russ, but it's also going to give the team and the fan base confidence that, hey, at least if Russ goes down or sucks again, we have this other new guy, this younger kid.
Who's coming out of college outside of Bryce Young?
It's a pretty strong quarterback draft.
Isn't it?
He's incredibly
Sam Minter, who did he play for? I know that's one name I kept hearing.
So you've got Bryce Young. Is C.J. Stroud coming out?
Stroud is...
He's a sophomore.
I don't think he can come out.
He can't come out yet.
I thought it was his junior year. And then the TCU quarterback.
Duggan.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, yeah, he can't. C.J. Stroud can come out. Yep.
That's what I thought.
Bo Nix coming back. No Bo.
No Bo. But there's I think 5 or 6 quarterbacks.
I thought the Carolina quarterback was coming out, but he's coming back. Drake
really?
Drake May.
Okay.
He's coming back to college.
So yeah, I mean, I think there's a few quarterbacks out there that they could probably pick up. Obviously, they're going to have a high draft pick unless they traded it away.
Who, Denver?
Yeah.
Denver has to give Seattle their
first
pick
round
this year. So right now, Seattle's going to get the number 2 pick.
Yeah. So that might suck.
So they have no picks.
So then if you're Seattle, do you take a QB or you ride it out with Geno?
I think that they'll stubbornly probably sign Geno again. I mean,
you think that's a bad move?
If Geno takes them to the playoffs, even takes them there.
I think you're right. You ride
with them. Yeah.
I do think that Dan Quinn to the Broncos, that'll be me calling my shot for that. Because Dan Quinn has history with Russ as well, defensive coordinator for the Legion of Boom. So I mean, maybe he has something where maybe he can manage that relationship a little bit better.
Well, and also I think that Sean Payton, I feel like if he's going to come back, there's probably a handful of teams that he like really wants to coach, and I don't think I see the Broncos as one of them. I think that he's really waiting for Mike McCarthy to fuck up at Dallas.
Yeah. And maybe that's a thing where,
because I think if Mike McCarthy gets, even if they get into the playoffs and they, lose by more than 2 scores in that first round, Mike McCarthy is still on the chopping block. I don't think that's even enough.
No, I totally.
save his
And the
job.
thing is that when you talk about people with money, like Jerry Jones has never given the impression that Mike McCarthy's job has ever been safe.
No.
Even entering this year, he was like, because the Sean Payton rumors and everything like that, if he thinks that maybe he can go get Sean Payton, Jerry Jones, or if he's worried that maybe Dan Quinn would leave, then I think that Mike McCarthy is as expendable as any winning coach right now.
Yeah.
Because there's just there's that fear that he couldn't have him anymore.
Yeah. But we'll see. I wouldn't mind having Sean Payton back in the league. He was an exciting coach.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's just a matter of time. I think that the weirdest part of this is that he is still technically under contract, and how are they? Because I think he would have to then be traded. So Sean Payton would.
Sean Payton is still under contract with the Saints?
By the Saints, yeah.
Really?
He is. So that adds a bit of
He just seems like like a Josh McDaniel, where he has good relationships with quarterbacks that he's coaching. So it's like if you're a team, if you're a team and you want that
and
good
his defenses, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yes, I do.
No, I would love for him to come back.
Another coach that possibly will not be at the helm of his respective team is Cliff Kingsbury. There's apparently a lot of drama going down, which is centered directly at his relationship with his quarterback in Kyler Murray. And there was this expose, apparently, with ESPN that came out. Here's a tidbit from that. It says, while one source close to Murray said the quarterback wanted more freedom at the line of scrimmage, particularly with running plays, multiple sources said plays designed to get certain playmakers the ball. I'm not even going to read this. There's on-field issues. There's clashing personalities. Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury are feuding, allegedly. And that's leading people to think that Kingsbury is like, okay, if you've picked the quarterback, if you're going to side more with the quarterback here, I'm not going to get fired, because I don't think that they would fire him, is that he would just resign.
Will you remind me what college Cliff Kingsbury coached at?
He was at
Texas Tech, right?
Where the hell was he? Because then he was at
it was Lincoln Riley, who was at Oklahoma with Tyler, right?
I think Cliff was at USC, wasn't he? Wasn't he an offensive coordinator there?
After
Cliff Kingsbury was head coach of Tech, was head coach of, and was offensive coordinator at A&M. So he was the head coach at Texas Tech.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because for some reason I thought they had a relationship at college, but
Cliff Kingsbury coached Patrick Mahomes in college.
Yeah. Okay, that's what it was. Okay. Honestly, I kind of don't know if I put this more on Cliff or Kyler.
Kyler.
I don't think Kyler's is. I don't think he's meant to be an NFL quarterback. Maybe it's because he's too small, or he just loves Call of Duty so much. But I don't know. I don't love his play. I don't love the optics. Not a great optics guy.
Yeah.
Bad body language.
Yeah, Kingsbury was described as, quote, extremely frustrated with the quarterback per team source, believing that his negativity, if not toxic, was starting to get to people around the building.
There's many quarterbacks that's game is designed and built to succeed in college, but then some of them are mature enough to make the transition into the pros, because there's certain skill sets in college that you can get away with, because they're not as polished when you go to the NFL. I don't think Kyler has done that, nor is he capable of doing that.
Yeah.
I don't think he's capable of transitioning his game, because in college, you can't stop him. His high school highlight tape is fucking insane.
Yeah.
The way he runs around and all that shit, he gets bailed out in college so much.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work in the NFL. And his success, and by success I mean like 4 or 5 viral things that he's done, like a OBJ version of a fucking QB, is because he's had DeAndre Hopkins to make that one catch against the Bills.
Sure.
Is because he was able to get through one gap. But really, would I trust him as a fucking QB? No.
Yeah.
I don't think his game is designed for the NFL at all.
Well, and I mean, like, he's guaranteed to need a backup that is serviceable because he will undoubtedly hit the IR at one point in the year.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, like some people think, oh, it's such a huge highlight where he ran 84 yards just to pick up a first down, right, with all the scrambling that he had to do and all that. It's like you probably missed a easy read in order for you to have to scramble and do that. And so it was interesting, you know, like in the offseason, he followed the playbook of every disgruntled player where you eliminate people off your social media and you float out all your discontent or whatever, and then they ended up paying him a ton of money. And now it's like, well, Cliff Kingsbury is saying like, okay, you've clearly picked this guy and I can't work with this guy.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna peace out.
Well, and it's, you know, the classic money doesn't buy happiness. Just because he's, you know, disgruntled and you throw millions of dollars at him doesn't mean he's all of a sudden just going to be okay with all the shit that you're doing. Obviously, it pissed him off before he got the money. It's probably going to piss him off after you get the money.
Exactly. No, for sure. And I think that, like, when you look at, you know, guys, again, who are disgruntled as well. So do you think Cliff Kingsbury is the head coach of the Cardinals next season?
I don't think so.
I don't think that he's going to be the coach because they've already invested so much into Kyler. I think that it's financially going to be better for them to stick it out with Kyler than it will be to stick it out with Cliff.
The organization made their choice.
Yeah.
By paying Kyler.
And I
the
think,
amount that they did, yeah.
But I think that's the wrong choice. I think that Cliff Kingsbury will be able to go on and have success in the NFL.
If you take the two of them, I think there's more teams that wouldn't want Kyler to lead them as their starting quarterback, and Cliff Kingsbury will not have trouble finding a job.
Yeah.
In the
Agreed.
pros or college. I think
Yeah.
Cliff Kingsbury has people waiting for him to be available.
He's one of those guys who...
And if you're another...
He's going to get his chance for the next 10 years.
And I think that by resigning, you kind of just say, like, I'm not going to give you the pleasure of firing me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to take ownership over this, and I'm not going to be part of this toxic culture or whatever. And because I don't get a sense that he hasn't lost any sort of locker room or anything. It's just he's just an angry individual. He's an angry elf. Someone who else is also an angry elf is a man by the name of Josh Jacobs. The Raiders once again lose a late lead. They have lost four games this season in which they've led by double digits. And I can't even remember how many games they've led in the fourth quarter and ended up losing the game. It's a mark of a bad team when you can't close out a game. And that's exactly what the Las Vegas Raiders are. A bright spot on that team is Josh Jacobs. And
been absolutely killing it.
Yeah,
this
I mean,
season.
he's in a contract year. They didn't pick up his fifth-year option, and he has made the Raiders. He's put them on notice that you're going to have to pay me or I'm just going to, you got to pay me now. And it doesn't sound like he's very interested in coming back anymore to the Raiders.
I wouldn't be either.
How many times can you keep talking about sort of the same things and learning the same lessons?
Man, I'm tired of dealing with this shit. Like, every day I come here and bust my ass. I see the guys, bust their ass, and and the result is not there. And, for me, the last 4 years, the result hasn't been there. And quite frankly, I don't know what else to do. So, yeah, that shit is what it is.
That man is not coming back next
now,
season.
he has if anyone has a right to be angry, it's him.
Yeah.
Because, you can say all you want about how he's playing for a contract this season, but he's the reason they're winning. And if you watch that game against Pittsburgh on Saturday, I think
which was brutal to watch.
If you had Devontae Adams in your fantasy team, I think he got 3 points.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't do shit. They barely looked at Jacobs at all, and that was a 13-10 game. It was like a last-minute touchdown by Pittsburgh.
It was a last-minute touchdown in which, in negative degree temperatures on, Christmas Eve night. And
how many things can you question?
The crazy thing about that game is the Steelers came out and were very obviously not afraid of the cold. They were passing the ball. Pickett had, over 200 yards passing. I'm almost positive.
Yeah,
and it's like,
and the thing is that you limit these guys to just 6 points at the time. It's a 10-6 game. You're on the cusp of closing these guys out, and then you're just playing this just not even prevent defense, but everything was so predictable in what they were doing. It's incredible to me that with how things have gone for the Raiders this year, that Josh McDaniels hasn't found a way to fire any coach whatsoever. Matt Canada, for instance,
or himself.
Their defensive, he's had so many closed-door meetings already with Mr. Davis there.
But that's the thing. The Raiders' offense, when you think about the Raiders' offense, it's not bad. Derek Carr is a serviceable quarterback. Josh Jacobs, one of the best in the league this year.
Their
Devontae
defense
Adams,
is what's getting them.
Generational talent.
Hunter Renfrow.
An incredible third option.
Waller
when he's healthy. And even, what's his nuts?
Hollins?
Piecemeal guy.
Foster Moreau.
Foster Moreau,
He's definitely a decent fill-in.
Hollins has been good.
And they have B+B line, but it's name one person on the Raiders defense.
Fucking
Crosby.
Exactly. And he's arguably one of the best defensive players.
Crosby and Chandler Jones. The guy who ran.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The guy who
stiff arm.
But so who do you blame if you're the Raiders? Is it play calling? Is it coaching? Is it Derek Carr's decision making? Who's at fault for shit falling apart every fucking time?
I think the first place you look for the Raiders right now is the defense. But also, I think the coaching decisions are it's 1A, 1B type thing. Because you're right. They've been in leads so often, and they're playing not to lose.
Entire second half of Saturday wasn't playing to win. They were playing not to lose.
Exactly.
It was almost like you were just waiting for Pittsburgh to score because Raiders have just backed up. Just please don't score.
Yeah. And that's how, honestly, 75% of their games have looked. They'll play well in the first half, and then it's just okay, let's not fuck this up.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we've seen, like I said, double-digit leads go away.
Yes.
And it's just because, again, they just take their foot off the gas. It's maddening. And they should be frustrated.
And for gambling, it's fucking aggravating because you think about all those names that I just mentioned, and it's they should obviously, they're a, +4 underdog. The Raiders got this.
I wonder how much money you would win, just in hindsight, if you were taking the points, if the Raiders are up on 2 scores on you throughout the year.
The real question is, how much money would you have made if you live bet every time the Raiders got up by double digits and you took the other team?
Right, yeah. That's kind of where I was going with it. I said it very wrong.
Okay.
Yeah.
But either way, I'm sure you'd have a pretty
Think about how frustrating it is if this week, which is week 16, if you're playing fantasy football, almost everyone's in the semifinals. Mm-hmm. And you had Josh Jacobs and Devontae Adams. And
I had one of them.
And this is the week where you didn't get shit out of them. And you needed to go to the championship because I played against Devontae Adams, and I was very happy that he got 3.
Yeah. Well, should we do our fantasy football corner?
Go ahead, get it started.
Guys, it's a sad story for me so far.
Go ahead.
I'm in 3 leagues. One of them's just family for fun, but 2 that are for money. One of which, Jimmy's League. Shout out Jimmy's. And it's a higher priced league. It's a little bit bigger league than our friends one. And I was in the semifinals. I had Jalen Hurts. I'm in a tough position. I have to make some very risky moves literally on Saturday morning. I decide, okay, I'm going with Gardner Minshew.
Which I thought was a good move.
It's, Minshew mania. Usually when he comes in for a start as a second string, he plays well.
Yeah, the inspiration behind Mike Leach's passing.
Dead coach game. All these things factoring in. Division rival. They need to get the win. And sure enough, 25 points.
Yeah.
Great job by Gardner.
That is a serviceable backup role there.
And then at tight end, I've been pulling the Peter in the Jimmy's League. I had Darren Waller.
Been piecemealing.
So I've been piecemealing, and I've had Taysom Hill for a few weeks. It's a snow game. They're playing at Cleveland. It's 0 fucking degrees.
They're not throwing the ball.
They're not throwing the fucking ball. And who's a great person to get involved when you're not throwing the ball?
And you're the Saints.
Taysom Hill.
Taysom Hill.
I knew he was going to get a touchdown. He was projected to have like 5 points. Put up 11 or 12. I'm thinking, you know what? I'm an incredible fantasy football manager.
Do this, yeah.
I'm going to be able to pull off this win in the semifinals versus the second place team. I was 4th. I'm down 3 points heading into the Sunday night game. Arizona Cardinals, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
You're feeling good.
I have my opponent all done. All his guys have played. And I have down 3 points. DeAndre Hopkins. Arguably top 10, top 15 receiver in the NFL.
Yeah, projected 16-ish points.
At home.
At home.
And
it's a hobbled
one catch.
Tampa Bay defense.
One catch for 4 yards. That's 9 targets. Trace McSorley fucked me so hard. It wasn't even because they played. I was telling Miguel this. They played a montage towards the end of the game of all the passes that had gone to DeAndre Hopkins, and it was like all of them were all over the place, not even close. At one point, they said another pass to DeAndre Hopkins, uncatchable. In the live broadcast, they said
just
that.
the hand over the head.
Uncatchable.
Yeah. No, the commentator, not even the ref. It was the commentator who was like, "Yep, that's uncatchable." And now it's 3rd down. Heartbreak, absolute heartbreak. It's Christmas. We're at my fiance's aunt's house, and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, the game's on." They don't really give a fuck.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, gripped to the TV, like, "You son of a bitch!" And Jara knows what's going on.
Drinking whiskey straight.
Jara knows what's going on. She's like, "Oh my god, I feel so bad for you right now."
That's the tough thing is if you're playing multiple leagues. Like I stopped doing 3 because it was just too much.
Yeah.
But if you're playing more than one, you have them ranked as like, okay, I care about both, but this one's like a bigger buy-in, so I kind of want to win this. There's more shit talking on this one, so I knew you cared about Jimmy's a little bit more than our friends league, which is a little more for fun and more relaxed, in which you're still in.
Yeah.
And what was very stressful for my end is last year I won the championship killing the Giant in Nyoko in our league.
Right.
This time her and I were in the semifinals, and she absolutely obliterated my fucking team.
Yes.
Also
yes,
hurts that I don't have
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Which
Who did you put in?
Kirk Cousins.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Which he put up some good points. But here's a tough thing. I was also in the semifinals in the work league, which I cared a little bit more about in winning that. It's a $100 buy-in. There's 12 of us and all that. Non-PPR league. Every player that I had for one league, I was playing against in the other league and vice versa. And it's like, I didn't know what the fuck to do or who to cheer for. I had Hawkinson in the work league. Naoko had Hawkinson. He blows up this weekend.
Sure.
So at halfway through the weekend, I accepted I'm losing our friends league. I am playing for the 3rd place game. I think it's only right that Naoko, now I'm cheering for her to win the championship, losing it last year and being like last the very first time she played. So I'm team Naoko all the way. I hope she fucking takes it. In the work league, again, like last week, it was the notifications of down the wire.
It comes down to the wire.
It's just 1.121213, and I'm losing my fucking shit. while we were out not watching any games, I'm just following it on my phone, refreshing
You're
it every
game
time.
casting.
So, I have the Denver defense against Naoko.
Balance it out there.
And I'm playing against Bryant Owens, who I used to work with. We go into Sunday, Denver Rams. I have Judy, and he has the Denver defense. He ends up with -3 from the Denver defense, which helped me out tremendously.
Yeah.
And Judy got like 11, over 100 yards receiving. So right now where we are sitting, I'm done in our friends league, playing for third. In the work league, I'm up by 14 points. I'm done. I'm done tonight.
And who does your person have tonight?
The Colts kicker.
Wow.
And he's down. It's 104-90. And he has the Colts kicker. I believe. I know the Colts are at home. Is it a dome stadium?
It is, yes.
So that's where we're at.
No points. No points. So
I'm the
far.
biggest Justin Herbert fan tonight.
Yeah, you are.
Chargers need to fucking murder
not.
them.
I mean, just don't throw it to Mike Williams.
You are playing against Mike Williams.
Yeah, I'm up by like 16 points, and Austin has Mike Williams.
If you take down Bolt Gang, it will be
monumental.
It will be. It will be monumental.
Peter, tell it. Oh, wait,
shout
you're
out
not
to
in the
Na-
playoffs.
Oh, shut up, you asshole.
Shout out to Nafi for getting the close win. But yeah, Pete, how's the consolation round going?
I'm doing great. I'm running a heater. I keep winning. I keep scoring a lot of points.
What are you gonna take? 7th? That's the highest you can get.
Sure, I think I'll probably do.
Who's
right
at risk
there,
for
so.
last? Who's having dinner with a stuffed
don't know.
animal?
It looks
I
like
don't know.
Gat. Gat is
Worse than Haley? Really?
Well, they're both at 5 and 9, and Gat's going to put up 98 points.
Well,
this
there's
week,
one more game next week.
There will be.
So who's winning the other one? Mind Goblin?
Yeah, he's beaten Haley.
Mind Goblin.
And Mitch has put on a statement so far, like in his 2 weeks that he has not been, or 3, whatever it was, of not making the playoffs, has put up like 150 or more points every single time. But
I'll be surprised if Mitch plays
Mitch comes
next
back,
year.
Mitch come back. It's fine. You're not like the Minnesota Vikings. You're good. You're just not lucky. The Minnesota Vikings are both good and lucky. They are 11-0 this season as in one-score games. They beat the Giants this past weekend 27-24. They kick a 61-yard field goal to end the game by Greg Joseph.
Jesus.
And they advanced to 12-3. So, I mean, I imagine, we've talked about the Vikings with Walsh, right, where, yes, they are 12-3. Yes, they are 11-0 in these tight games. But no, I'm not going to be putting a ton of money on them in the playoffs.
Yeah, agreed. I don't think this really, changes anything. I think they are who we thought they were.
There'll be a early exit in the playoffs.
I feel like if you're a Raiders fan, that's the most frustrating. Is the Raiders could easily have the Vikings record.
You could swap
switch
them. Because I think the Vikings D might be just a little bit. But no, not really.
They're not even.
Because they allow a ton of points. You could honestly swap their records, and I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense.
It makes sense.
Yeah, and you could totally see it. It's interesting when you think about like playoff probabilities and things happening for this week, is that, everyone had the Packers kind of like dead in the water for weeks, right? We've been thinking about like, oh, should Aaron Rodgers just rest and get healthy and then call it a season and then play for the draft? Well, now, not only did they win this past weekend, but then they got the losses from the Commanders, the Seahawks, and who's the third team they needed? Maybe the Lions? No.
The Giants?
And maybe the Giants. Okay, yeah. So, and the Giants. So, you have those. Now you have like a bunch of teams at 7 and 8, and you're dealing with a bunch of like tiebreakers and everything. It was quite a weekend for Aaron Rodgers.
Did you see the interview that is it Pam
Oliver?
Pam Oliver had with Aaron Rodgers after the Dolphins game? Rodgers was just grinning from ear to ear, and she's like, tell me about this game. And Aaron's like, well, everything we needed to happen happened. was just smiling the whole time. He's like, our defense was great, all this stuff, and he's like, and she goes, look at you in a good mood, and he goes, well, Merry Christmas, Pam. Just happy as shit.
The Chargers win. If the Chargers win tonight, they will make the playoffs. We're currently at a 92%. And let's see. Then we've got the NFC East, which is still looking good with the Cowboys and Eagles and Giants. Commanders still have a shot there. But, yeah, the Packers went from 10% chance entering the weekend to a 30% chance of making the playoffs. So they're just kind of right there. They just need a couple of more things to go their way. A very consequential game coming up next weekend is the Bucs and the Panthers. Quite an interesting game there. With the Panthers refusing to tank, could potentially be division winners when all is said and done.
Best of luck to them.
Best of luck. Bless their hearts.
Good luck, guys.
Bless their hearts.
I want to get into college because there is something that has happened in the Pac-12 and specifically to a home state team.
Yes.
Is pretty fucking huge.
Game changer.
DJ Uiagalelei.
This is why I said just say ukulele, because I knew this was going to get fucked up.
Uiagalelei.
Just say ukulele.
Uiagalelei.
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 Yep. The quarterback from Clemson.
Yeah. DJ coming over is going to be joining.
That's huge.
It's a huge get for Oregon State. I feel like they were in on a quarterback last year. I don't know if it was him, but there was something about the fact that
it's the guy that went to West Virginia, JT McDaniels.
That's right.
You're right.
Yeah, JT Daniels is that, or whatever the hell.
It's Daniels.
Yeah, but they didn't have enough of a NIL deal for him to show up. But DJU is what we'll call him.
Yeah, great. But my question really to you, Peter, since you live in this world a little bit more, what in the world is the connection? Is there any, or did he just get buy-in from or did Jonathan Smith get buy-in from this kid? Like, hey, you saw us this last year. It was, things are different. We have, the only thing we're missing really is a good quarterback, and you can be that guy and run the conference.
Right. I think that I had this article up from Greenville News, and they were kind of breaking it down a little bit, where, the rumblings were there. So DJU is a California native, so, West Coast connection there.
Okay.
He has his younger brother is a defensive end who signed at
yeah,
Oregon.
He just signed.
Right.
I saw that.
And so DJ was rumored to be going to Oregon as well, but then Bo Nix decided to come back. So Bo Nix comes back, and then it's like, okay, so now you're right there with these guys. And, I think that this doesn't necessarily happen if Oregon State didn't just win 10 games, right? If they were a 3 or 4 or 5 win team, he's not coming. But, they have a brand new stadium. They've got or at least half of a stadium. They're a 10-win team that just needs a quarterback to get
everything
over the hump.
else is there.
And Jonathan Smith is a great
quarterback coach. Yeah, and
just a great coach in general.
Yeah, and I think that when DJU was benched in the ACC championship game, writing was on the wall for him to dip out. Mm-hmm. And I think that kind of coming back this direction kind of made the most sense. It was like, well, I was already looking in Oregon, so I might as well just come back this way.
So here's my next question. When does USC and UCLA leave?
2024. I think that there's one more year.
So do you think, because coming into 2023, if you look at the Pac-12, it's probably now at its strongest point across the board.
Especially at the quarterback position.
Well, I think that realistically now you can look at least half of the teams in the Pac-12 to realistically win the Pac-12 championship? You've got Oregon, you've got Utah, you've got USC, you've got Oregon State now,
UCLA.
You've got UCLA, and you've got Washington.
With Penix coming back.
Yeah, so Penix coming back. UCLA gets Colin Shelley, I think is how you say his name, from Kansas State, is transferring over. Then you have Williams.
Rising comes back for Utah.
Right, so Rising will come back, and then you have Nix. Then you'll have DJU, who, will just kind of round out this incredible quarterback
Heisman
conference.
winner comes back.
Do you think that, because, again, I think this is going to be the most, like the Pac-12 as a collective, the most competitive Pac-12 that the conference has been able to bring to the table against the rest of the United States in 5-10 years.
It'll still be like, you'll talk about the level of play getting better.
But it's still going
to
cannibalize. Yeah.
There you go.
But
where it's
my
gonna
question
go.
is after we have this, elevation in our competitive nature, do you think that's going to change decisions for moving of conferences, or do you think that once that 2025 year hits or 2024, whatever it is, that people are going to, disperse and the Pac-12 will be unrecognizable?
I
think because of the cannibalizing, I think they still move.
The players or the teams?
Teams. I think they still go, and I think after UCLA and USC takes off, I think you'll see a couple more teams sign on with another conference, and I think Pac-12 will look completely different in 4 years.
We also forgot to mention Colorado with Dion and how that's going to be.
Right, yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's going to be that's going to just be an incredible season to kind of monitor in general. So.
This is definitely like massive for Oregon State because they were a quarterback play away from winning 12 games.
Yeah.
The Washington game, the USC game, with a good quarterback. Because the thing is, DJ is a 5-star talent who just didn't fit Dabo's scheme.
Right.
So it just didn't work. The Branson kid who took over for Chance Nolan is good, but he's not someone you're riding with next season.
I mean, he's no DJU, that's for sure.
And outside of picking up DJ transferring, Oregon State picked up a high 4-star recruit at quarterback. And the last thing they want is for that kid to play before he's ready.
Yeah.
And now you have the kid who finished out the season, who finished strong, that new 4-star recruit, and then DJ starting. Everyone coming back except for 2 seniors.
Yeah, Coletto's gone.
Coletto's gone, and 2 seniors on defense. Mm-hmm. That running back crew, all back.
Yeah. And they're all young.
And the thing is, you always praise the quarterback when your team is winning. Branson was like a Brock Purdy in a way where, like, just don't fuck up. Because really, why did they start winning? He just handed the ball off like 200 times in the last 3 games.
Yeah.
I am interested to kind of see how, and I have no idea what Dan Lanning's pitch is to these guys, but, the early signing period just happened. Oregon has the 5th best among, the top 300 guys who are coming in. I think that they got a top 5 rating, and then I think that they got like 10 or 11 of the top 300 guys, only to be outdone by the Georgias and Alabamas of the world. But it's just like, what is he saying or doing? I'm just like kind of shocked because he seems like such a goober for one. And then
I think he seems like really
and then
cool.
He had that very viral video that happened afterwards where he's sitting there with like the Oregon throne in the background and everything, and he's just like smoking a huge cigar. Yeah. Did you see that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it was like, it was a baller move.
I like how
definitely a cool guy.
When you name the teams in the Pac-12 and like the top 6, 7 are like super strong. Honestly, like this, regardless of how I feel about Oregon, I do not want to be Oregon out of that list. This is the last team I want to be out of that list. I read something yesterday morning that said Oregon gets all the top recruits, the best recruits, but they just happen to be like the prima donna recruits because they're the best. and they always run into like the second or third tier recruits from like an Oregon State and lose to them. So it's like they have this squad that has everything to lose and nothing to gain almost because of how Pac-12 cannibalizes each other. So it's like Oregon has dominated this conference for years.
Yeah.
And then you run into a UW and you run into an Oregon State that you're not supposed to lose.
Or Washington State.
Yeah, and then you lose it. And it's like the other teams are like, you're not expected to win this. It would be cool if you did. Like, just the mentality going into the game, it's like, it's tougher for Oregon to see that all of these teams have gotten better. We're still looked at as a top-tier team that could make the playoffs every year.
Do you think that Oregon should go to the Big Ten if offered?
For whose sake? Because I
don't know.
I don't see
money's sake is probably.
See a ton of benefit to that.
There's no benefit. I think any Pac-12 team that goes into the Big Ten ruins those players. First of all, they're not used to playing in Big Ten weather. They travel all the way to fucking Michigan, Wisconsin, Penn State.
I think that like the pitch, and is that if I'm Oregon, part of my pitch, if we're saying like we'll stay, and I don't know if this will be true, but if they stay in the Pac-12, they could essentially be Clemson West.
Exactly.
They could be like, I mean, it's like, okay, so USC's gone, UCLA's gone. You could say, oh, Deion's a flash in the pan. Like, that's not panning out. Oregon State, they'll, maybe that'll be, one
DJ's only got a year.
Yeah. So then you got to go, okay, like, we could be the Clemson West because, like, when you look at, they want a Pac-12 team in the playoff. They want them to be there. And they will make excuses for those Clemsons of the world to get in there, right?
Exactly. And I'll be the first to admit that Oregon is favored when it comes to rankings and to the committee and stuff. They seem to always kind of get the benefit of the doubt, which I love. Obviously, it's very beneficial. But if they are now put in a position where instead of dealing with that list of 6 teams, they're dealing with 3, 4, I think that they can run that.
Yeah, it's like, let them go.
We're as unfortunate as it is, Oregon State's not going to be able to pull a DJU all the time. This is a very
that's why it's big news
and
unique
awesome,
circumstance.
Opportunity. But ghosts.
Yeah.
Oh no,
that was Toby.
But anyways, I'm really excited for this next year of Pac-12 football. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of fun to watch.
And the Oregon State and Colorado game that we're going to go to in Boulder this upcoming year.
Are we?
Very exciting. Very exciting. We checked. It's not happening on your wedding day. But if it were, we'd ask you politely to reschedule your wedding day. That might be
that's an October game.
You generally will be in October. Yeah,
we're going to Boulder?
Yeah, we're going to Boulder.
We're going to Boulder.
And then we're going to, hopefully, it'll coincide with a Broncos game the next day.
Oh.
Have you heard about this?
Ruffle Wilson?
Ruffle?
This has been something, actually, I think that Mitchell and I have been trying to spearhead. So if you're down to go to an Oregon State game.
Dude. Of course.
And then we'll have to.
A month after my wedding. Sounds good.
I know. That was going to be my. Are you going to be allowed to leave?
I don't know. We might just be fucking. You know what I mean?
Just.
Jesus.
Straight up. No.
Really went alfalfa on us on that.
It was more like,
Albert.
are you going to have any money? But,
yeah, the savings will be drained, but you'll pay for me, right, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Let me see where Sheba is.
Okay.
Listen, don't pull a Jordan and be like, we never had a bachelor party when we just go to Montana for 4 days.
That Jordan, you were the only one who didn't experience that bachelor party. Everybody else who was there.
We all experienced 4 different bachelor parties of yours, actually, Jordan. So maybe the Boulder one could be your 4th bachelor party.
The next time we get together after we get back from Montana, I'll be sure to say, I really haven't had a bachelor party. It was really just like a
guys
weekend type thing.
Just
So
guys being
we
dudes
still need to do
weekend.
that, guys.
Yeah, we got to do that.
Oh goodness. All
Until
right.
there's a stripper, which there never will be, so you can write this one out forever.
Perfect.
So
Oh,
We've
okay.
looked into it.
Actually, it's too late. It's too late to tell this kind of story in the episode.
no, it's not. We have nothing going on.
Okay.
We have.
Well, I was just gonna say there was, you know those moments where you start telling a story and then you realize the context of the story, and you're like, wow, this is not the group of people I should be telling this story to. However, I'm too deep into the story to now pull out
To
and be like,
back
oh,
out,
actually,
yeah.
never mind.
Yeah.
That happened at the dinner table on Christmas.
Oh boy. Yeah.
We were talking about alcohol laws. Jared's aunt was asking me about Utah because they had said that they had gone to Utah when they were younger, and it was back in the days of the Utah laws where it was almost like speakeasies. You'd have to pay for membership to go into this place where they would sell you mixers, and you could bring your own alcohol in.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So that was basically what like bars were in like the 70s, 80s. I'm pretty
The
sure.
speakeasies?
Yeah. So they were asking me about that and if it was still that way and yada, yada, yada. And then Jared's sister Jessica started talking about bring your own alcohol places. And
there
I started. I was like, I've actually been to a place that was bring your own alcohol, and it was crazy. Like, we just brought a cooler, like, full of alcohol.
Fucking
into the-
luggage.
And what was the name of this
and
place?
they were like, oh, where was this? And I was like, oh, fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Shouldn't continue.
Again, at this table is my fiance, her father, her stepmother, her aunt, her uncle, her niece, her nephew, her sister, her sister's boyfriend, her sister's boyfriend's daughter. And we are at Bill and Janny's house. Incredibly nice house, fully decorated, like Better Home and Magazine type decorated.
Sure. And you're telling a strip club story.
And I go, and here's the worst part, guys. I should have just been like honest
bailed.
and straight up and
Or just
been
bailed.
like, oh, it was a bachelor party. We were at a strip club. I said, oh, it was in Austin, Texas. I was at a bachelor party. We went to and I even put my hands like this, burlesque club.
A
Oh my God.
You wax on, wax stop it?
Why? What made you do that?
Oh
Burlesque
no!
club.
And I had like the napkin in one hand, and
The burlesque club.
like, why am I rubbing the tits? Anyways, I'm sitting directly across from her aunt, and right next to Lori, her stepmom. And Lori and I have a great relationship. She's very funny, and she just looks at me and goes, "Burlesque club."
You were not
You're
fooling
so
anyone.
caught.
And then Janny is just looking at her plate, like cutting her prime rib, and she said, "In my day, we just called them strip clubs."
Burn. I knew I liked
I was
Janny.
like, God damn it. And everybody just started roasting me.
Yes.
And I was like, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
set
know.
yourself up for that. Well, I knew I liked Janny this whole time.
Janny for the win.
Thank you for
on
the
that
burn.
one. Janny for the win. I was showing the trailer of MILF Manor this Christmas to my
entire family.
Same.
Yeah, but they're hosting a foreign exchange student, and she's like 15 years old or something, and it felt
And you're like, these are American titties.
it felt really awkward to just
Like
be like
bags of sand.
You know, they've got like these like close-ups of the guys and their abs, and the old ladies talking about their libidos and everything. I'm like, I'm pretty sure you're aware of all of this, but like, it's still awkward nonetheless. Like, do I want to be?
What I really would like to picture is what Braxton experienced and set himself up for, but you in his
Oh
position.
my God, I will crumble.
Talk about fucking the whole thing up.
I would crumble.
You would not know how to backtrack or cover what you started, and it would be absolute chaos where the line is right here, and Peter would murder that line and go to a point where the line doesn't exist anymore,
Oh, gosh.
where Lindsay looks at you and goes, you could have stopped right here,
Yeah.
and it would have been
across the
fine.
table, going like this.
No, don't do it. No, I mean, like, in the world of how awkward I am or would be is I was at the grocery store today, and I hear my name being called, and it was like Peter Sokach, and it was like I look over, and it was this girl who I was kind of like secretly in love with for all of my high school. You know, it was like we were friends, but like, you know, I couldn't tell her that I liked her, but like I was always just the friend type of a thing. And obviously, like, we're, you know, married and both have kids and everything. But I was just kind of like, you know, Lindsay was right there, and I was like, oh yeah, here's you know, Katie and this, and I was so awkward because I had no time to prepare for it.
Are you just explaining the plot of Just Friends?
Maybe, but I mean, like, I would have been perfect for that.
I moved to L.A. and played hockey.
Yeah. But I mean, it was like as awkward as it could have been because I had to kind of like not like downplay. And then afterwards, I told Lindsay, I was like, "Oh yeah, that was the girl that I joined cross country to get her to like me." But then I ended up dating some other girl. So
you really didn't. The real story is you didn't go for that girl because you knew she didn't like RAs, which you were destined to be.
Oh, sure, exactly.
You snitch.
But then I think she married like some sort of like engineer or whatever. So
the head RA.
Yeah. So she decided to marry a nerd anyway. So that was my
Good for her.
But
okay, nerds are cool.
now I'm gonna have to like send a Facebook message and be like, "Sorry, it was so awkward," but I'm gonna be awkward in sending the message.
You
so.
don't need to send.
I do. I'm obligated at this point.
For the love of God,
That Peter, that's your
not.
nickname. You're the awkward layer maker. It's just one layer of awkward after the other.
After the other. Here.
Awkward layerer.
He's like, I'll do it right now.
No, I mean, I won't do it right now, but I will.
Yeah, go back to Josh Jacobs. He was mad.
He was mad.
He was mad.
He's hella mad, dog.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll take this out of the pod. The reason
Bolshevik?
why. Yeah.
We just doxed her. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. So I had to kind of stop being friends with this girl because she was actually became best friends with the hand job girl.
Huh?
Will you click on that profile picture, please?
Does that say Lauren?
So that's Lynn. Just
what's her name?
That's.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to type, right?
I think you came out on the top end.
Yeah.
With your decision, buddy.
Lindsay is way hotter than this
Yes,
girl.
yes.
Yeah. I had
Have I said how
Who
hot
was it?
Lindsay is? Lindsay's pretty fucking hot. Way hotter than this girl.
she is beautiful. I will say though, I forgot to tell you about this, Pete. I keep on just adding on these stories to the end. This
That's
is gonna
fine.
For everybody who listens to the end of this podcast. This is one of the gem moments where we actually tell good stories at the end.
Right, yeah. You have to make it all the way to the end.
But Steve at the live show, the guy who got on the mic that was standing up there.
Yeah.
He and I were talking at a later time at Jimmy's, and he was like, "Oh, are your friends single?" And I was like, "No, actually, they both have."
You trying to fuck?
Asking about us?
Yes.
Who's asking this? The guy?
The Steve that came up on the mic.
Okay.
Not the old guy.
Not the one I walked in on?
The one you walked in on.
The guy I walked
Yes.
in on. Okay.
Yes.
With a cane.
Yes.
Okay.
So, I was talking to him at a later date. He asked if you guys were single. I said, no, Miguel has a serious girlfriend that he lives with, and Peter is married. He has a child. And he jokingly was like, oh, who would marry Peter?
Hey, calm down.
And then I showed him. I just went to Lindsay's Facebook profile and showed him, and he did not believe me.
Her?
Yeah.
Him?
Yeah. He was like, there's no way. And I was like, yeah, she's just as nerdy as he is, if not more.
Mm-hmm.
And
she was actually a valedictorian.
Oh, Lindsay's hell of a like way nerdier.
Yeah, way nerdier.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, he was baffled.
Yeah.
But
is,
I will say
it is hard to believe. I hope you like wake
I
up every
disagree.
day and understand
I
that.
disagree. I don't think it's hard to believe.
Yes.
I
Give
do
me some
think
credit here.
I do think that you guys, although it's like an odd match, it makes so much fucking sense.
Yeah,
It
just
makes
saying.
sense.
I'm not like if you knew them, it absolutely 200,000% makes
Right.
sense. Looks. I'm not
You'd be
calling
like,
you.
oh.
I'm not calling you ugly, but you're batting way up.
Yeah. Well,
They're at least cousins.
we do kind of have the same features there.
Oh, gosh.
We had
We're back to the sheet now.
It does
Okay.
segue it though, which was we're back to the sheet. It did remind me because there was this headline: Smoke Show Sixers dancer gets proposed to her by the girlfriend.
Oh, yeah, I did see this.
So you talk about guy who was batted way out of his league. This guy got absolutely destroyed on social media because he is even worse
Look
than
at that.
I am.
Before you start.
Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. Whatever the starting screen of that video.
The thumbnail.
Look at the 90-degree angle on this guy's Adam's apple.
Oh my gosh! Yeah,
he's
that
got a
thing-
huge dick.
That thing protrudes.
That is a sign that he's got like a 9-inch hanger.
Absolutely.
So here's the video of this guy.
As I was attempting to read that promo, what's had a marriage proposal?
I'm a sucker for love.
Not Franklin. No.
Will you marry me? Yeah.
Why would he get roasted? That he just got a yes out of this girl.
Because basically people were just like, oh, she's way out of your
She's
league.
way out of yeah.
Like, yeah. They were just giving him shit.
That he had no right to be with her because of how much more attractive.
How do you guys feel about these like public sports event proposals?
Hate it?
Bad idea.
Terrible idea.
Yeah, the worst.
Bad idea.
It's only like there's no middle ground. You either get a no in front of thousands of people, or you get a yes because they feel bad that they don't want to say no to you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I just don't want to put my other half in the position where she's everyone in the baseball stadium or basketball stadium's looking at her.
Right.
Going, oh, are you going to disappoint him or are you going to say yes so we could cheer? Like, I think this should be an intimate moment, and I don't like sporting event proposals at all.
And I would just never be with someone who liked sports as much as I did.
Yeah.
Right? And so this Chris guy, Chris Gerard is his name. He writes he quote tweeted. It says, "Dear comment section, I know she's out of my league. I'm just happy to be here."
Good for him.
So good for him. When it comes to this week's loser, we have gotten all the way. The reason why we've been able to tell these types of stories is none of us are feared of losing, at least this week, due to our schedules. We still have picks on the board that have not been completed. So we don't know who's going to lose, and we're all neck and neck.
It's Christmas.
It is Christmas.
Yeah,
We're
it's pretty
all right
close.
there.
Merry
We're all
Christmas.
within a half game of each other.
Lit.
I hurt my tooth. And so we will have a double
punishment.
No punishment this week. We will have
Double punny.
a double punishment.
That's how we're going to start off
next
2023
week.
with a double punny.
Let's
Double
hope
punny.
it's the same person.
Oh, I pray to God.
I cannot wait until
Kill
I
you.
ask you what your karaoke song is next
Yeah.
week.
Okay.
guys.
Which, by the way, you
hold
didn't
on.
roast him for the fact that we've talked about NBA or
I will put
proposals.
my foot down that Braxton is not. Should he get punished, it is not going to be him singing karaoke. The shit he loves to do.
No, that's not what you said.
No, I was just saying that I started off this episode by spending the first 5 minutes of just rehashing things that I already knew the answer to. That's all.
Keep up.
Keep up. Listen.
Me keep up.
No, you are.
Hey guys. See you next year.
I was gonna say that.
Clear eyes.
Full heart.
Can't lose.
Hair.
I knew you were gonna say that.